to me, click.
What's up, yo? It's your guy Big Eddie, and if it's your first time coming across this channel, I kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and don't forget to leave a comment on the comment section. The season came to an end last weekend, and Manchester City was actually crowned champions of England, and Arsenal became number 2, Liverpool became number 3, and what a run of English Premier League for season 2023-2024. More so for Arsenal. That was a wonderful run of games. We really, the way the game, the competition between Arsenal and Manchester City this season and last season, you can tell that things have really improved for Arsenal. And now Arsenal is becoming a club that when it comes to English Premier League, is a club that right now is being felt. The presence of Arsenal is being felt, and you can tell how throughout the games, especially towards the end of the season, how the competition was so tough, and it was anyone's game to win, or for anyone's game to take the championship. That is between Arsenal and Manchester City. And as I say that Arsenal didn't play their cards well. The games that they lost actually is what made Arsenal lose the competition. For City, because of their experience and their experienced coach, that's the reason as well actually they took the championship. But I personally, my club is Arsenal, and I felt like there are things that we didn't do right, which as we start a new season, we need to do things right. We played well, I should say that, and towards the end of, actually not towards the end, but there are games that we actually lost that we were not supposed to lose, and these are the games that really costed us. Actually, we will have won the game to that is the championship. Towards the last 3 games, we will have been crowned champions of England. But because of the few problems, or that the few cards that we didn't play well, that's the reason as to why we didn't win the championship. That one is over and dusted. We are supposed to start preparing for next season. And even as we wait for the transfer window to be opened, I know many of the fans are wondering, who is Arsenal going to buy? The transfer window, I'm told, is going to start, I think, towards is it this month of June, after, I think, the Champions League. Can't remember the dates exactly. But even as we wait for the transfer window to be opened, rumors have been going out there that the teams are planning to buy. Arsenal is also one of the clubs that is planning to strengthen its squad. You remember towards the last game of the league, that is Arsenal versus Aston Villa, not Arsenal versus Everton. That is the Josh Kroenke, the owner of Arsenal, gave out a message that is actually, from the message, he said that he's going to support the club, and the club wants to go forward, to move forward. And even the message from the captain, that is Odegaard, and even the coach himself, the manager, Arteta, they say that we should not be comfortable, and that tells you that we'll be very serious in this transfer window. And that's what I want to see from my team. I want to see, when you hear from the management, from the owners of the club, talking about how we want to even get to push our club so that we can be able to get silverwares. That tells you that they really have our club at heart. And that's what I really like about what I'm seeing from the manager himself, from the captain, from the owners of the club. And I'm seeing that Arsenal is already linked with a number of players. These are the players that are going to bring a different into this club. You see, like last season we did bring players that really actually brought a difference in the club, and that's why we really pushed Manchester City to a point whereby uh, if they had lost a point, then we'll have been crowned champions of England. Sorry. So sorry about that. So Arsenal, as the way it's progressing, it tells you that there are really good things that are coming in the seasons to come. And Arsenal is going to be a club, if it continues with the momentum that it's on right now. If it continues with the support, if the club will be supported by the owners, that when the season begins during transfer windows, we see where if we need a player who's going to bring a different to our club, we go for them. We try and negotiate and get these players on time. Then I think we'll be a club that will achieve a lot in the few seasons to come. Right now, I'm seeing there are a number of players that Arsenal are being linked with, and you know when you hear that people talking about players that are being linked by Arsenal, it tells you that there's something that is cooking. And yes, I know many a times we've been linked with players, but we never end up getting these players. But you see again. This is the moment that or the time that we need to go for good players, better players who are going to bring different to our club. And actually, it's official that one of our players, which I also spoke about, that is it's called who? This player, Partey. Partey is actually leaving Arsenal, and I think Partey, he has been a good player. It's only that injuries have been a setback on him. But and then he's remaining with about 2 years in his contract. So if we get a good deal, we can cash in for Partey, and then we can bring a replacement for Partey. I know there are a number of players. Someone can say that we don't need to strengthen, but you see, we really need to strengthen if at all we want to compete with Manchester City. So a player that I think we've been linked with and I think can bring a different to Arsenal Football Club is Bruno Guimaraes. This is a good player, and I've seen the way he's playing. Is actually from I think Newcastle. This is a good player. He does in that midfield. I think he can really do good in that midfield. Our midfield, that is. And if we can do that, then if we can get him, he can bring a difference actually to our club. Another uh, player that we've been linked with is also a player from Newcastle, and that is Isaac. Isaac, that guy, I've seen him the way he's been playing, even the goals that he scored for this season for Newcastle. And remember, before Isaac came to Newcastle, we were actually linked with Isaac, but we never went for him. We actually went to Newcastle, and he's been there. I think this is the second season for him, and he's really played so well at Newcastle. So if you can get such a player and put him into a system, then he can really do good. See, this will be a competition because you see what I know. A player like Hazard, when he came to Arsenal, he came as a midfielder, and he's been used as a false number 9. And at first, we were not so sure if he was going to perform, being that he had not performed well in Chelsea FC. And when he came in, I don't know, it's because of he had not gotten not gotten used to playing the system that Arsenal was playing. So because of this, he had to So he didn't perform in his first few games that he played, but the manager had more trust in him. He really trusted him. He gave him more games, and the games that he didn't perform, he actually came as a substitution until that day when he started banging goals. I remember the first goal that he scored. He actually scored a penalty, and this is a penalty that we got, and it was like a way to give him morale, to boost his morale, and it really worked. And going forward, Harvard has been he actually been scoring. He hasn't been so clinical in front of goal, because there are games that he was supposed to score, goals that he was supposed to score, but he never scored them. But if we can get a striker, a really proven striker, a striker who can bang more than 25 goals, let me put it 20 goals of Premier League, that is Premier League. If we can get a player who can score that, then we need to get those players, bring them into the club, and let them give competition to those who are already there. The likes of Jesus. Jesus is a good player. It's only that with injuries, and also Jesus is not a player who can give you more than 20 goals in a season. So we need a player who can come in, and a player who can score goals. And we have been linked with a number of players. We have people like Victor Gokores. These are players that have been linked with Arsenal, and these are centre forward players. Centre forward players. We have players that actually this player has been scoring goals in Portugal. eh. So, but I don't think Arsenal can go for these players. I don't know. I know that right now these are players that the clubs will be asking for a lot of money, over 100, and I don't think we can break a bank this time round the way we did. The time is we got Rice, Declan Rice from West Ham. This time round, I don't think Arsenal can break the bank to get the players, the big names, or rather go for to break the bank so that they can bring players. But we can use the amount. Understand we've been given like about 200 million. This money we can use it, utilize it properly, and with the few sales that you can do, as I've said, that Arsenal is about. They say that Partey will be leaving, and Borussia is called who? Romano is saying that Partey will be leaving. Romano says that Partey will be leaving Arsenal, and sources have been has confirmed that Partey will be leaving. So if Partey leaves, and that will be money that will be there. If you can sell people like a number of players in Arsenal squad, we have people like Akina Nketia. These are people that we can sell and raise money to facilitate for new additions to the club. We have people like, as I earlier said, we'll be linked with people like Akina Isaac. Isaac, I know he's not going to come cheap. He's not going to come cheap, but if we can get like if we can bid for about 70 million, and Newcastle agrees, which I don't see them agreeing for 70 million, then is a player that can come to Arsenal and bring a difference. People like Akina Bruno Gumeras. These are players who can come bring a difference into the club. I've seen also some sources saying that we are also linked with Michael Olise. Michael Olise of Crystal Palace. This is a player who I've seen doing the things that he's doing. That young man is doing wonderful things, and is a baller. And this is a player who can give a push to our star boy Saka. Saka is a player who has been playing. I think he's a player among the players, apart from Saliba, who has played through the season, and because of the exhaustion that he's gotten towards the end of the season, he hasn't performed well. Towards the end of he hasn't been himself, and that's why we need someone who can be able to support him. in that wing. That is the right wing side. On the left wing side, we have Trossard and Martinelli. Martinelli, this season also, as I said in the previous shows or the posts that are the posts that are put on my YouTube channel, is that Martinelli hasn't been so good this season. He hasn't been good at all, and because of the injuries. But we are lucky that we had Trossard who really pushed him, and together they really pushed each other. But if we can get someone who can play in that wing, if we can get a good player who can play in that wing and give them competition, then that's what we need. For our club to move on, we need people who can push each other. If we get someone who's better with good amount of price, then we should go for those players. For the center, that is the defenders. The defenders. I can say right now, when you look at the left wing. Right now, Tomiyasu has been playing that wing. We have who's this? The name of this player? Timber. Timber actually is back, and Timber actually can play both right wing and left wing. But for now, I think we can continue playing that wing. We don't need to really to struggle ourselves in getting a player for that position. So a position that I think we need to address is a midfield, and then we need to address the center forward. We need to address the right back, and then the left back. But left back is not so much. But if we can get a player with a good amount of money who's not so expensive, then we can go for that. That's what I'm saying our club is going to do. But my wish is that if we can get a proven striker. I know we've been linked to the player from Leipzig, whom is a 20-year-old. I don't think, even if he's going to come, probably he's going to compete with Havertz, which I'm saying, as I've said, is that Havertz. I think the boss is going still to continue using him in the new season. But we need to get a player who can bang goals, someone who can give you that you're sure he can give you goals. If we can get those players on time, then Arsenal is going to be a club to be watched come next season. The season is over. We are only remaining with one game, and that is the FA. And even as we wait for the FA, I know it's being played Manchester United versus Manchester City. My hate for Manchester City is still top notch. It's very high, but it cannot be compared to the hate that I have for Manchester United. Sorry, Manchester United. I know many people will I know haters. Manchester, most of where I come from, we have here in Kenya. There are a lot of the enmity in the English Premier League. The bigger percentage is between Manchester United and Arsenal. So I don't wish Manchester United to win the FA, but because if they win, it's not going to be peace. There won't be peace. So I wish Manchester City to win this league, this FA, so that we can meet again with them for the Community Shield, the beginning of the season. Guys, leave your comment on the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, adios.